Hello, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to talk about the PlayStation. Well, not just PlayStation, man. This is all developers. You hear them saying all the time now that development cost is starting to get higher, right? You hear companies like Square Enix being like, "Oh man, you know what? We're not really wanting to own companies anymore. We're really wanting to kind of diversify, maybe have somebody else help with the development costs of these titles." And you're seeing this all over the industry right now. You're seeing this all over the industry, everywhere but Game Pass. Everywhere but Game Pass. There's okay. I do. I love my pretty visual games. As you can see, there's The Last of Us 2 playing behind us right now. This is a beautiful game. Probably cost Sony a lot of money to make this. Really high quality animations, really high quality textures, just high quality assets in general. It probably costs a lot of money to develop, to do the research, to be able to create and bring that to a playable form. Like, that probably took a lot of R&D to get there. And this problem is industry wide. So you have PlayStation complaining that Call of Duty being in the hands of Xbox, that would be bad for the industry. And I don't know if it'd be bad for the industry, but it would potentially be bad for the PlayStation side of things, just because of the fact that if Call of Duty went freaking exclusive to Xbox, then that's a lot of hundreds of millions of dollars that PlayStation would lose with all of that content that's sold through their market store, all that free money that they get just for PlayStation selling on their console. So yeah, I can understand that. And you got to understand that, like, in that business, those games that PlayStation pays to keep off of other consoles, or pays to get extra, exclusivity stuff so that people are buying them on their console, because let's face it, most of the time when these games, after they come out of their exclusivity, they usually go on sale when they go multi-platform. They're usually they're automatically right on sale once they go to another platform. And like, you saw that with Godfall. Godfall came out on the PlayStation 5. It was $70. When it came to Xbox, eventually that game hit at $30. And you have another game, like Project Eve, that was initially announced for multi-consoles, but now it is a PlayStation only exclusive. And I bring that one up because that game, yeah, it does look cool, and that's the way I felt about Godfall. But I kind of feel like it's going to be another Godfall. I kind of feel like the game is going to turn out to be another Godfall. And then you have another game, Forspoken. Forspoken, the way that game looks, I'm not saying that the game is trash or anything like that. That game looks like it should have been a launch title for the PlayStation 5. Like, that's just the vibe I'm getting from this game now, going forward. And like, looking back at all the stuff we've seen over the last couple of years, they've showed this game off so many times that it just doesn't look fresh. It doesn't look exciting. It doesn't look new and creative anymore. Like, we've seen that now. We've seen that for 2 years. Like, we are used to the way that game looks. We just don't necessarily care about it. And the same thing the same thing could be said about a lot of games when they start to come out, and they start to when they start to come out, and then when they push them back, and we see them and all that stuff we see, we are no longer, we're desensitized. We are no longer 100% like, oh yeah, dude, that's exactly, it doesn't look new. It doesn't look fresh anymore. It's not as exciting. The same thing happened with, gosh, what was it? Watch Dogs Legion. That game, when it finally launched and came out, and like we were so desensitized because of that game being pushed back so long, that by the time we got it, it was just like, okay, it looks like another Ubisoft game. And that's the potential problem that these guys are running into if they keep showing us these games. Show them to us once, and then don't show them again until those games are ready to launch. And then right before they launch, maybe a month before that, do another trailer for it, get everybody hyped up about it again, and then launch it. Stop showing us all this stuff because it's ruining games like Forspoken. Like Forspoken was a game that when I first saw Project Althea, when I saw her jumping across the rock faces and stuff, I was excited. I was pumped. I was like, whoa, that looks incredible. But now every time I see that game, I'm just like, wow, dude, this looks kind of like mid. You know, it doesn't really like it. Ever since that first thing, every the more I've seen of that game, the less excited I've been about it. And then you hear all the previews coming out, and everybody that was just doing a preview talking about it and being like, "Oh man, they're all Debbie Downers about it," and that's something. That's it. It's just weird, man. It's a big industry problem that's really starting to. It's really starting to take effect. These development budgets are ballooning too big. These projects are taking too long to create. They're taking 5 freaking years to get new games and stuff like that. And if you're gonna do a series or something, yeah, I'm looking at you, God of War. I don't want to play God of War in 2018 and then play the next chapter in 2022. Like, man, I want to play that like the year after. I want to play that the year after while it's still fresh and I'm still pumped and I'm still excited about it. Because now going back through God of War, it's not hitting me the same way that it did when I first played it. So now like going into the second game, it's not going to feel new because it's going to feel old. Like the game is still going to feel like it felt back in 2018. So it's going to be different. Like it's like I've played so many different games in that 5 year time now that like games just feel different now. They just feel different. And if you're rooted that far back into a project, it has the potential to really. The same thing happened with Horizon Forbidden West, man. Like the first game, I really loved it. I really cared about that game, and then the second game, like it didn't hit as hard. Like it didn't. It was good. It was average. I mean, it looked fine. Like whatever the graphics, but the graphics can only go so freaking far, man. The graphics, that's that's another problem. That's another problem with the PlayStation thing. These PlayStation games, they look so freaking good most of the time. Like I watched that God of War trailer and it left me breathless because I was like, wow, that looks incredible. That looks incredible. That looks better than everything they just showed prior to this being showed again. Everything I was just watching and I was like, oh yeah, that and then boom, and everything else just all of a sudden is mid. Everything else is mid. Like everything else like just doesn't even matter. It like I was like, okay, yeah, it looks cool. I'll play it, but man, look at that! Look at that! God of War, man, it's like so beautiful. And that's the thing because like they showed us all them cutscenes, and yeah, they look fantastic, dude. Sony pumps a lot of money into making those cutscenes look incredible. But if you look at the gameplay of God of War side by side to Ronin, they are basically the same. That's the thing. Like I am so sick and tired of getting so hyped up over these freaking cutscenes. Then when we actually play the game, yeah, it looks good. It looks fine, like whatever. Like it looks fine. Like don't get me wrong. Like I mean, you just saw, The Last of Us 2. Like it looks fine. It does. It looks fine. Like the in-world graphics look fine or whatever, but they don't look anywhere near those freaking cutscenes now, do they? And that's what I'm saying, man. We have this false. I feel like we're suffering from this false sense of quality because yes, man, these cutscenes are getting really good. They're getting really good. I mean, Halo Infinite's cutscenes were freaking amazing. All of these cutscenes are starting to get like really, really good, and the gameplay is starting to lag pretty far behind what these cutscenes are able to do. Because these new powerful consoles, they can pump out anything they want at 30 frames a second. Like they can make them look incredible. But then the gameplay, man, what happens to the gameplay? These guys, these developers, man, they're complaining about these freaking budgets, and they're complaining about not being able to have Call of Duty on their freaking virtuous cycle to keep their PlayStation 5 so that they can continue to pump out the quality exclusives. Man, they spend all that money on these cutscenes when and I mean, like, I don't know, man, after I play through a PlayStation game, I'm not thinking like, oh yeah, dude, I want to play through that again. I'm never feeling that way, man. I'm never feeling that way, and that's honest. I beat Last of Us again, man, and I'm like, dude, I'm not sitting there feeling like, oh yeah, dude, I want to go through that game like 10 more times. No. I don't feel that way. Like it was great, it looked beautiful, it was amazing. And it like really did hit me hard, just like it did, the first time when I first played it, even probably even harder this time, because it's like literally like the facial expressions and everything looks so much better that it was like, whoa, dude, this is great. But there's got to be a line, man. There's got to be a line. These guys, they're complaining about all these budgets and stuff, and it's like, man, dude, I love my cutscenes too. I love them. I love them, but this industry is not sustainable if something like PlayStation losing Call of Duty would literally lower the quality of that platform. That would suck, man. I would hate to see that happen, because why do you think I got a PlayStation 5? I like my cutscenes. I like to play those video games. Like I pay my $70, but I do complain about it because I think it sucks. I think me personally, I think they would sell more copies if the price was just a little bit lower. If they were $60 or $50 or $49.99 for a game, I think that's like a perfect price point to where everybody can buy it and nobody literally has to worry about it. Everybody can buy it and like nobody has to worry about it, and it doesn't feel like that would feel good. That would be a perfect feel good price for video games going forward for everybody, and they would all make a lot more money because they would sell a lot more copies. So that's basically my thought on this. That's where my thoughts are on this industry going forward, and like why you hear PlayStation out there freaking out, and why it matters so much to them, because yeah, that's a lot of budget, dude. I guarantee that Call of Duty funds, probably just Call of Duty alone funds all of PlayStation's freaking first party development for a whole year. Every year. I'm pretty sure that Call of Duty is enough all by itself to fund all those projects. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you disagree with me, whatever, throw your little thing in the comment section. If you agree with me, like, cool. Like, if you have different thoughts, put them on the comment section, man. Let's talk about this. This is our channel, man. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.